Plaintiff Sherry Grant Zeidman was married to the defendant, but she left him after she discovered he was using cocaine. 12 years later, Sherry and her children moved back in with the defendant, and he became abusive. And she's suing because as a result of him attacking her, she dislocated her thumb. Defendant Stephen Zeidman says Sherry is a pathological liar and an alcoholic who was once pulled over with crystal meth in her car. Stephen claims he has pictures proving Sherry kept alcohol and drug paraphernalia in her room, and he's countersuing for stolen property and rent.
Start with you.
All right. Well, approximately 18 years ago, I met Steve Zeidman, and we dated. I got pregnant, and we decided getting married was the right thing to do. However, into the marriage, I realized he was physically abusive, verbally abusive, and drug problems. So,
what type of drugs?
I believed it was cocaine. He came home one morning at 5 in the morning, just animated, high as a kite. And that's when I just showed him the door. I said, later, dude.
So it was only the one time that you...
No, this is the straw that broke the camel's back.
What were the other instances?
Selling pot out of our bathroom while I was trying to give the kids a bath one night. Mm-hmm. I couldn't go up there because it was busy.
Who was in the bathroom buying pot?
Oh, his one of his friends.
He had brought him in the house and they went in the bathroom?
Yeah. That last straw was the cocaine. Mm-hmm. So I showed him the door, and for the next 12 years, I raised my 2 children quite well. They were doing awesome.
Yeah.
And then I ended up having some financial difficulty. I had to move, and so I called Steve and thought, can we be grown-ups and share an apartment? And that way I don't have to move my children away from their friends, their sports teams. So anyway, he said, sure, under 2 conditions, that I pay rent and that I go to court with him, the child support court, and have the judge waive the over $20,000 in back support he owed me. So against my better judgment, we went, but thank God the judge denied the request.
Right, okay.
That really made him upset. The abuse, physical abuse.
How much was the rent you agreed to pay?
It was $400 a month.
Right. And then what about the physical abuse?
Oh, immediately. It started from the ride home from court. Pinching. Mm-hmm. He's the kind of man who believes that as long as you don't use your fist.
What else he do other than pinch you?
He does what he calls body checking. He puffs himself up and will, hit you with his chest, but he says he's not using his hands, so that's acceptable.
How long did you stay with him after that?
2 years.
Okay, so that didn't really bother you that much?
No, it did. I'm trying to explain, sir.
No, I'm trying to ask you a question. You explain what I'm asking you, please.
Yeah.
This is my court. So the man would chest bump you for 2 years.
And shove me into a stove once. Mm-hmm. Another time, let's see, the name calling was horrible. He called me the worst names you can call a woman in front of my children. Why did you accept this stuff?
There was nowhere else you could go and room with someone and pay them $400?
Not with my 2 children. I was not going to leave them with this man.
You couldn't take them with you?
Not for $400 a month, sir.
Okay, what city you live in?
San Clemente.
Okay, no, you can't. All right. Sir, you give me your side.
Sir, this woman is a pathological liar and an alcoholic. Not only am I not a drug addict, one time I followed her home to make sure she got home safely because she didn't have proper registration on her car.
When was that?
This was prior to our marriage in 1997, 98. She failed to yield to a stop. Police car pulled her over, found crystal meth in her car.
Is that true?
It was his. He'd given it to me to hold because he told me police don't.
He gave it to you to hold?
Yes.
And you did?
I was stupid.
Okay.
Are
you an alcoholic?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
I have proof of her alcoholism, her marijuana use, her beer cans in her bed, behind her bed. I started compiling this evidence because I was going for full custody of my children, because I didn't want them living in that messy house with this pathological liar that will do anything to keep a child so she can gain the money for child support, to support herself. Nobody should live like that.
No, it's probably your room.
Ma'am, and is this anything of yours?
I can't see it,
Okay,
but
why don't you hand it to her? Okay.
There's no men's clothes in there.
those are some of these are all my daughter's clothes. I shared a room with my daughter. So these are my daughter's clothes, yes.
Why is it so nasty?
That's a good question.
Okay.
We're both, we're slobs.
Slobs?
Then, yes, slobs. My daughter and I, yes, we're women and our
Changed now?
clothes are everywhere.
You've changed now?
Yes.
Since when?
Oh,
you
gosh.
all right today? Are you high today?
No, I just, of course not.
When did you change?
When did I change?
Yes.
Sir, that is one day out of many days. So,
No, you said you
yeah.
used to be a slob.
I have evolved for many years.
When?
You want me to give you a date when I decided
No,
to change?
a year.
2008.
Okay, you're making it up now.
Well,
Gotcha.
you said give me a
Ma'am,
year.
you've hurt your credibility, your testimony, your
Your Honor, you
antics,
said give
your
you a
demeanor,
year.
the way you're acting. I'm inclined to believe him, ma'am.
Okay.
He's not acting like he's the one on drugs. You act like you're on drugs today. You act
That's
like something
because
wrong
this
with you today.
All right.
Tell me about her moving in.
Okay.
And what the agreement
I'm
was?
the hero in this story. She called me with 2 days' notice of an eviction.
Did she
And it
lose
was
her
even
job?
her boyfriend's building. No, she had a job.
What?
And I was paying $840 in child support.
What had changed? What had changed between?
She just doesn't, she's not responsible. She doesn't pay her rent. It was even
Ma'am,
her-
did you lose your job or something?
No, I didn't lose my job,
Well, what
sir,
changed?
Your Honor.
What changed?
The recession. I was a horse trainer. I was making very good money, and people started selling their horse.
Okay.
I had a trust fund.
So your
that was
income went
embezzled.
down, that's your
Yes,
point? Okay.
yes.
Why are you responding in this way? I'm gonna hurry up and get you out of here.
Thank you. I'd appreciate
You act
that.
like something's wrong with you today. All right, anything else before we get to the medical bill she's suing you for?
Well, to prove her alcoholism, she was convicted in 2001 of drug possession, controlled substance, DUI.
What type of drugs?
I believe it was cocaine or crystal meth. And
When was the
child
DUI?
endangerment in 2001. It was all in the same event.
Okay,
She
and
had
what was
left
the third
house,
one? What was the third one?
Child endangerment.
And child endangerment, all in 2001?
Yes.
Did any of this happen?
No, there was no crystal meth.
No,
there was
did any of these things happen at all?
Yeah, I got a DUI before.
We're talking in 01, not before, 01. You see why it's hard to give you any credibility? All right, your claim for medical bills and pain and suffering, how does he owe you for that?
Well, sir, he the night he attacked me, he was coming after my daughter. We both ran into the room we shared. He was starting to verbally abuse me, sir. He kicked a hole in the door, and we stayed in there all night, Your Honor. And then I had to get something to eat around 1 o'clock. I snuck out to get something to eat. And when I turned around, he was there. And I'm trying not to engage him. I just wanted to get back to my room. As I tried to go around him, he did his body checking where he shoved me and he pushed back my rotator cuff. He dislocated my thumb. I have a picture of that. I got a restraining order. I filed a police report, and I went to the hospital.
What happened with the police?
The police, they came in, they interviewed both of us. They told me, we feel a violation has occurred, and then that was it. They said they would take care of it. And
You didn't follow up?
I made some calls, and they said the DA is looking at it.
When was this?
In 2012.
12? And they're still looking at it?
I don't know, sir. I had to find a
haven't
new
you called?
apartment. I got a new job.
Why haven't you called?
I have had my hands full. He's been suing me
You
right
haven't had
now.
time? Is
I
that
have
what
not
you're
had
saying?
time.
All right, for a year you haven't had time?
No, I have not for a year.
Good enough, all right. Just asking.
All right,
Good
that's
enough.
fine.
All right. The police report, do you have that?
No, I tried to, I
Okay.
called for
You
it.
couldn't get a police report in 1 year either? All right.
I work all day. I'm very exhausted.
Ma'am, you act like I'm doing something to you. What's wrong with you? Are you all right today, really? You're acting as if you're having some type of emotional breakdown, and I'm asking you very delicate questions in a very delicate manner, and you just keep going, I did.
Really?
Yeah, really. Your credibility is at stake because of the way you've been responding to my questions. Your medical bills are based on his assault. Let's see your picture and the medical bills. Sir, you tell me about this assault.
Your Honor.
It's alleged assault.
Alleged is a very good word, Your Honor. There never was an assault on Miss Grant. The night of the incident, I was worried about the rent. The rent was 23 days late. And the kids were in the living room when she came home at 8:30, and I asked her about it. But the kids being there, I shut it down and didn't argue the point. So I'm trying to go to sleep. I'm in bed trying to go to sleep, but I can't keep thinking about the money. So that's when I hear her in the kitchen. So I walk to the kitchen and ask her, you know, I really need the $400. I can't pay my other bills because you're not paying me your part of the rent. She got abusive with me. She chest butted me and yelled in my face, spitting and yelling in my face, this close. I'm not lying, Your Honor. Rob right here knows of her physical abuse.
Why? How do you know he knows?
Because he's witnessed it. He's had to put her in a chokehold. He's told me himself.
Sir, is any of that true?
No, sir.
All right, good enough. Now, you tell me who was the aggressor. You say she bumped you.
She bumped me.
And as a result, what happened?
She punched by me, shouldered by me, and walked towards her room, and our rooms are like this. I kind of followed her. I'm going, look, if you're not going to pay the $400, you've got to move.
And then what happened?
You've got to move. She slammed the door. The door broke.
Tell me about her thumb.
I think it's from her horse training. I've seen her on a horse rearing up.
And what date are you referring to? What day are you referring to this having happened?
Which part, Your Honor?
Everything you're describing, the night.
This is the 23rd of April.
Okay. All right. And ma'am, you went to the emergency room when?
The day after I filed the restraining order.
Why did you wait and go then?
Because it was 3 in the morning by now, and I didn't realize I was so hurt.
You were able to go. Oh, okay. You didn't realize you were hurt?
No, I was so hurt. I thought it was sore. And the first order of business was to get a restraining order from this man.
Got that.
Then I went to the hospital.
All right. And your counterclaim is for stolen property and rent. How so?
She quit paying rent because she got served the papers for the child custody. So she stopped paying rent.
That's not true.
Okay. How much do you allege she owes in rent?
She owes for April and May of 2012.
How much? $800?
$800.
$400? All right. April and May, $800. Then the stolen property you're referring to. What property did she steal and how and when?
The 4 items were some fishing knives, a step stool, a cookware set, and a bicycle.
All right. Let's see it, please. Let me have the list.
Oh, she's suing for pain and suffering, but I'm the one who suffered on the restraining order.
And
I think I suffered
Hold on,
plenty.
ma'am. The bicycle is the biggest item you have here.
Yes.
That's my son's
what happened
bicycle.
to that? Did you ask for it?
Yes.
And
I
what
asked
did she
for all
say?
my property back. The one thing I got back, Rob
No, sir. We're talking about the bicycle.
No, she didn't give it back.
And what did she say? When you asked for your bike, what has she said? Okay, neither of the two of you have much credibility with me.
She said she didn't
so
have
I'm going to conclude that neither of the two of you are being totally honest. So I'm going to dismiss both of your cases. Have a good day.
This is all just pathological lying. I never touched the woman.
Well, how about when you called the store 14 times and you almost got me fired?
I called the store 7 times.
Then you told me you were going to wait outside when I got off work, but then you came in the store on the cameras. It's on the cameras and everything,
You
ma'am.
attacked me.
He attacked him on camera.
You had the Harley helmet in your hand and tried to hit me with that.
You're a liar.
All I did was defend myself when I put you on the ground.
This is all lies.
Why were you on your back?